Pain has a voice, and for many people, it's been ignored, dismissed, or misunderstood for far too long. My name is Amy Sebastian. I'm a reflexology therapist specializing in facial reflexology and craniosacral work, and I'm known for my work in pain recovery. Over the years, I've worked with people living with chronic pain, post-accident pain, nervous system overload, and conditions they were told they would just have to live with. What I've seen over and over again is that pain is not random. It communicates. And when we learn how to listen, the body can begin to release what it's been holding. In this series, you'll hear voices of pain recovery. You'll hear real stories from real people who came seeking relief and found something deeper. You will also hear my voice sharing education, insights, and explanations about how pain shows up in the face, the nervous system, and the body as a whole. Some voices you'll hear belong to clients who have chosen to share their stories anonymously. Their faces may not be shown, but their experiences matter, and their healing is real. This work isn't about managing pain. It's about understanding it, supporting the nervous system, and creating the conditions where recovery becomes possible. Okay, today we are with a client who has come to see me for facial reflexology and cranial work and has really gotten huge benefits out of treatments and really has opened things up for her and opened her eyes to what her body is trying to tell her. So, we're going to start with asking her a few questions about her experience and how it's helped her and what she's learned. And so, we're going to start by asking what has happened in your body before coming to see me for facial reflexology?
What's happened in my body before coming?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stress. So, and I think stress manifested into a lot of symptoms in my body. Um, so, tight muscles, tight joints, just stiffness in general. I think I originally came to you with hip pain, and I finally feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm I'm feeling better, but I'm also open to healing myself. And I think that's the biggest thing is if you are ready and you tell your body I'm ready, it'll start to heal. And that's where I finally feel like I'm getting to that point. Um, and whether that be a mixture of facial reflexology, um, physiotherapy, stretching, just everything, like just really letting my body heal. And so, yeah, my hip is actually starting to feel better. It's
Yeah.
taken a minute, but
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and I've been coming to you for how long now? A year?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Over a year, probably
Yeah.
now. And I know we've worked on other things. Like, I know when I lay down on the table, you're like, "Ooh, I can feel it in you," and I'm like, "I know." So, and it wasn't just my hip. I mean, like work stress, sitting at a desk all day for the last 15 years, like that's killer on the body. And then having a high stress job. I mean, I've had so many symptoms pop up just from that alone, and it's like kind of sad to admit that your job made you sick and it made your body inflamed and hurt. And that's like kind of a sad thing to admit. I'm sure our bosses wouldn't like to hear that, but
Right. Yeah.
it's true.
But yeah, sometimes it is the way it is. Yeah.
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 And then, like when I laid down on the table today and we started talking about stored trauma, and our childhoods, and even like coming out of our mother's wombs, and like you had a stressful childbirth and I had a stressful childbirth, and well, I'm saying that wrong, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. When
we
we came into the world.
We came into the world kind of stressed, so
Yeah.
it's like, well, how has that reflected on our whole lives? So yeah.
Exactly. And as we have gone along with you, and you've been actually paying attention to your body a lot more, and it seems like your body is opening up and really communicating with you. And as we were mentioning as well, is it's like a body awakening, and it's just telling you what it needs, what it wants, and where to look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The sirens are going off.
Yeah. And sometimes very loudly, right? Yes. Yeah. So how long had you been living with that pain? Like when you first came to see me, it was hip pain. And you said it was 15 years from like, maybe work stress and that kind of stuff, sitting at a desk and those types of things. But did you notice it before that as well? Like, was it more than 15 years or altogether?
So, like as an athlete, I've always had issues with my ankles, shins, knees, hips. I had knee surgery. I had a soccer injury years ago. And then after knee surgery, I ended up with severe shin splints because I pushed it too quickly after, and wanted to get back into it. And then I ended up with severe shin splints. I also sprained my ankle severely when I was a child. So I've had endless leg injuries. I also tore my quad in high school. So it's just been like thing after thing after thing with my legs. So maybe I've been a little too rough on my body, and I think even as teenagers, we don't listen to our bodies. We just go because
Right.
we're young and dumb and whatever. And I think it definitely, like obviously as you get older, things change and hormones change even in women. So I think I kept pushing it like I was, 15, but I'm not 15 anymore. And I think my body finally just caught up with it. And then, sitting at a desk and not being as active as I once was, but then pushing it like I was, it just didn't make sense. My body finally was like, no, this can't happen anymore. And so I think it was just a slow burn. And finally, one day, I woke up and I was like, ugh, my hip hurts. Like, that's kind of weird. And then it persisted and persisted and persisted. And, you go to chiro, you go to massage, and it's like, this isn't getting better. I don't know what's wrong. And so, yeah, I finally came to you because I saw a video on Instagram and I thought, well, what the heck, let's try it, because I'm willing to try anything to make myself feel better. And yeah, that's, I think, when I started really finally seeing some results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. And, it's not a magic wand where I can, make all your problems go away or your pain go away instantly.
Yeah.
It's just not how life works, and it's not how our bodies work, right?
Yeah.
That you were just describing how you had like pain throughout your teenage years and stuff. So this has been building for a while, right? So it's going to take it's going to take your body a while to self-correct it properly, right? But your body is responding in such a favorable way. And just from that very first treatment, you had noticed a shift. And even though it wasn't like magic, everything gone, you felt a shift.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And to be honest, so like the hip pain that I had, it felt like sciatic, but like severe. And I would just like turn and, just send myself to the ground. Like it was like crippling to the point. And, my husband was like, what the hell is going on with you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, like, this should not be happening at my age. This is insane. And like, knock on wood, I have not had that in 8 months.
Yeah.
9
That's
months.
amazing.
Yeah. I'm like, I haven't even thought about it. Like, now that you're asking me these questions, I'm like, yeah, I have not felt that. I'm like, that's amazing.
That's so cool to hear. That's like
Yeah.
almost a relief just to even think about that, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
So when you felt like when you first came to see me, what felt different before you came to see me versus now. We just talked about that hip as one example. But even when we're doing a session, how do you feel walking in versus walking out of a session?
So I think you are what makes it that much better. I think you're
Thanks.
Yeah, no, but seriously, I think you are a very warm and welcoming person, and I feel safe every single time I come and see you.
Oh, good.
And so it's almost like I'm telling my body that we're going to a safe place and it's okay to open up.
Right.
And I think that's huge in any type of therapy, whether you're going to massage, chiro, it's just like you're being really vulnerable with that person, and you're allowing them to touch you and massage you. And I mean, touch is, I'm like getting emotional, but
Yeah,
like
it's okay.
it's a really like you've created a safe place for me to like to tell my body it's okay, you're okay.
Yeah.
Let her do her thing. And I think that's like step one is like also being open to what you're coming to do, right? Because this is so different and not a lot of people know what it is or what you do. So being open to it, but then also knowing like you're okay.
Yeah.
And I think that is another part of the onion that I have like, peeled back this year even, is just telling myself you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of healing.
That's amazing. And honestly, like, that's a huge compliment to me as well. Yeah. So thank you. I'm like kind of speechless that you said that, but I love it. It's like, honestly, that's what I do want to create here, is a safe space, because I am working with your body. I'm working with you. I'm working with your whole entire system, right? And your body's telling me a story as I'm working on you. So in order for me to do the best job I can for you, having that openness from your end makes me more efficient for you. Yeah. You know what I mean? So so thanks for being open like that, and I appreciate all my clients who are open. It just makes their treatments that much more effective, and helps the healing process go along faster. And that is my goal, is to help people. So, I'm glad I can provide that for people as well. So, when you were talking about safe space and like going to see other practitioners, what popped into my mind is it's like if you were going to see a counselor and talking to a therapist, you're telling them things verbally, right? Mm-hmm. So, and you're trusting them with your story and like your emotions and all of those things. It's very similar here, except you don't really have to say much. Your body communicates with me and creates that safety between us. It's almost like a silent safety, and so it's like, that's what popped into my head, is talking to a counselor or a therapist, and it's like, and it's without words.
I know, and it's so funny, because sometimes I think it's like, well, I could not say anything to you because you'll just ask me anyways. Are you?
So when I ask how you're feeling today, you just got to tell me.
Yeah. It's like, I know you have a scar there, and it's like, I know that's gonna feel spicy. And it's like, well, I literally can't lie to you.
No. Yeah, your face will tell the story. Exactly. I'll find it, and and then like even today, like we were talking about some of the congested areas that I found, and sometimes when I'm doing the point work and trying to get in to do a precise point to activate that system or organ, it's hidden behind that, that veil of almost like a bubble, I guess is a way to describe it. But then when I start tapping, or if I use my detector in there, it'll eventually loosen off, and then you really start to feel it, and it starts to like activate, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely a spot that needed attention, right? So it's kind of interesting how that works. It's like nothing, because there's so much congestion blocking it, and then all of a sudden we break through that congestion and your body's able to open up. So yeah, that was one thing that we were talking about today, that, you know, it seems to fascinate me time and time again whenever that happens to anybody.
Like my nose.
Like,
I feel like I can breathe.
Yeah.
I've had a cold for the last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
You were super congested when you first started today, before we did treatment, and you are definitely flowing now. Your sinuses are flowing. So
100%. I feel like if I take a breath, like I can actually breathe through my nose, where I felt like I was blocked.
Yeah.
It's like a weird sensation, but everyone that has ever had a cold knows that sensation.
That sensation. Yeah, exactly.
It's like the back of your nose is just blocked.
It's like that opening, that release, and all of a sudden it's just wide open. It's like, oh, I didn't realize how stuffed I was until now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we talked about a lot of unexpected changes that you felt along the way, but I do want to ask, what would you say to someone who feels stuck in pain right now?
Yeah, that's a hard one because pain is so individualistic.
Mm-hmm.
I think of my dad a lot when this question kind of comes up. He's someone that always kind of seems to have pain, but I also think he's an incredibly sensitive person, and not like a crybaby kind of sensitive, but just like very aware of his body. And I think maybe I'm a little bit like that too, and why maybe it's easy for me to like peel back the onions and like kind of get to the root cause. But you know, like if I was talking to my dad, it would almost be like, you know that you're in pain, and it's almost like acknowledgement is the first step. And it's like, you know what you're going through and it sucks. What at the end of the day makes you feel better? You know, you and I were talking about self-care and like the things that you do and are your non-negotiables throughout the day. And it's like, if that brings you a little bit of peace in the day, then do it. Like that's your non-negotiable. If like going for massages, like that's your thing and that's what brings you a little bit of pain relief, do it. Like if it costs money, do it. If you ran out of, you know, insurance for the year, so what? Like pay the $100 if you can afford it and bring yourself relief. Like I know that's not everyone's case, like not everyone can afford it, so it's not totally a fair statement, but if that's what brings you a little bit of peace, like you've got to do it. And then, you know, I think once you start incorporate that stuff, and we were talking about habits before too, like so many things are habitual, so once you just get into the habit, then your body just kind of follows suit. And I know, speaking from personal experience, like that's how I've helped myself, I think, is just forming the habits to make myself feel better. So,
it's true. We have to form those habits for peace, for joy, for fulfillment within ourselves, right? And that's the only way that we're going to break the cycle of stress, repetitive, toxic behaviors, you know, all of those type of things, right? And which also contribute to pain, if not, you know, allowing them to release and be happy, be like, you know, kind of just flow, right? We're always restricting ourselves so much that allowing our systems to relax for once, honestly, is so important, right?
I know, I wish my dad was in this room right now.
Right?
Listen to our conversation. Like, I wish that I could tell him this every day. And, you know, like, people deal with many different illnesses and syndromes and what have you, right? So you have to acknowledge that too, like real things do exist.
Absolutely.
But like, how do you get through the day? And I think that's just so important.
And even like it comes down to you know, getting rid of toxic thoughts, right? And positive self-talk. will go a long, long ways. And that is part, our bodies are always listening to us, our
Yeah.
nervous system is always listening to us.
Yeah.
So, in order to change the narrative for our nervous system to function properly and allow it to relax, which will in turn help our pain, we have to integrate those positive self talk patterns as well.
Yeah.
So, you don't have to say it out loud if you don't want to. You can write it down, you can think it in your head, all those types of things. But eliminating the need for negative self-talk, it's just unnecessary and it makes us feel worse. So creating that habit of a positive self-talk mindset, I think, would change the narrative for a lot of people in a very quick amount of time if, you know, we just allow ourselves to accept ourselves for who we are and, you know, love ourselves unconditionally, and allowing the nervous system to feel safe within ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about having treatments done, it's also about feeling safe with ourselves, within our own bodies, within our own minds, because sometimes we're our own worst enemy.
100%.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is there anything that you would like to share, anything else you'd like to share with us today that comes to mind that could help someone out?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, covered
We've
quite a bit of
talked a lot.
topics here. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people can relate to your story and what you had to say here today. And thanks for being so honest and candid about a lot of things. That's, you know, more people need to do that, right? And because being honest with ourselves is, you know, sometimes the first step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing this because you don't have to suffer in silence.
That's
which
right.
I think a lot of people do.
Well, a lot of people do. Yeah, I did that too, and you know you did.
I know.
And,
I have, and I know lots of people that continue to.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
talking about it, and you know,
and even hearing someone say it, because then you can. It's like, oh, okay, like someone else feels the way I do or has felt the way I do, and how did they get out of it, and what helped them, and things like that. And you know, being able to share that with other people is like pretty big. And when I was going through all the things I was going through, I wish I had more of that in my life, where I had someone to relate to, and so I didn't feel so alone. So having this talk with you is going to be super powerful for a lot of people, I'm sure. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing it and being so honest about everything. And
thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks so much for being here. If you're living with pain or supporting someone who is, you're not broken and you're not alone. This is the Voices of Pain Recovery, and this is where pain is finally heard. If this resonates with you, please follow along as we will dive deeper in future episodes. And if you know anyone that this could help, please feel free to share. Thank you for being here.